The NBA playoffs are in full swing at the moment, and the Memphis Grizzlies are locked in a battle with the Golden State Warriors to see who progresses, but are currently down 3-1. However, they were without star guard Dillon Brooks, who was suspended for Game 3 last week after being involved in an unsavory incident with Gary Payton II. Today, we're going to be discussing the Grizzlies breaking code after Payton's injury. Stay tuned. First up, what exactly happened? Let's see. The Grizzlies were inspired to a 106-101 win game in Game 2 against Golden State Warriors, thanks to a sterling performance from 22-year-old point guard Ja Morant. The South Carolina native was in imperious form, bagging 47 points to draw the Grizzlies level in the series at 1-1. But the game will be remembered for another, more unsavory incident after Dillon Brooks was given his marching orders for inexplicably striking Gary Payton II over the head. In scans after the game, it was revealed that Payton had actually broken his elbow, which means that he's now going to be sidelined for some time to come. And after the game, Golden State head coach Steve Kerr called Brooks out for what he viewed as a dirty foul. He said, "I don't know if it was intentional, but it was dirty. There is a code. This code that players follow where you never put a guy's season or career in jeopardy by taking out somebody in midair and clubbing him across the head, ultimately fracturing Gary's elbow. He broke the code. Dillon Brooks broke the code." I mean, he's got a point. When you look back at the incident, the evidence against Brooks is damning. Draymond Green also suffered a gashed eye, which he returned from after receiving treatment in the second quarter. Green had been ejected in Game 1 thanks to his own foul, and even gained fans a piece of his mind by flipping them a double bird as he left the court. So, did the Grizzlies break code? Stay tuned to find out. Well, following Brooks' foul on Payton, fans and players alike questioned the integrity of the 2017 All-American none so more than Kerr, who, as we mentioned, spoke about how he broke the code. So far in the series, we've seen some pretty feisty plays, I'd say, which have resulted in fouls and ejections, and even in serious injuries, as we saw with Payton. And the Warriors got their own back on Saturday night as they went 2-1 ahead of the series, with Ja Morant suffering a knee injury of his own. Again, reigniting the debate surrounding what's dirty and what's not. As Payton was in midair about to score on the Grizzlies, Brooks came charging through from behind, taking him out whilst he had 2 feet on the floor. This clearly constitute dangerous play, and fans and commentators alike, as well as the Golden State bench, were probably well within their rights to claim that Brooks had broke the code. As Kerr put it, the incident brought back into focus the conversation around the unwritten code. But many pros and people within the game feel that Brooks was well out of line for the foul, and the referee was right to eject him. Of course, Brooks was then suspended for Game 3 following the foul, which his team then went on to lose. So, what have you made of the series so far? Next up, another injury from the series. As we briefly mentioned earlier, Ja Morant suffered a worrying knee injury during Sunday's third game against the Warriors, which ended up 142-112 as a win for Golden State. But Memphis fans are going to be sweating on the fitness of their star man, who missed the Game 4 following the injury. Again, the issue of dirty play was brought into contention as Morant hobbled off the court, although he was able to hobble to the bus post-game, unaided by crutches or a wheelchair. And whilst the Grizzlies have given no indication as of yet how long the Murray State alum might be sidelined for, they were clearly not happy with the circumstances that led to his injury. With around 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in the game, Warriors guard Jordan Poole, who was seen to have grabbed the knee of Morant while scrambling for the ball. Andrew Wiggins was also involved in the incident, which saw the Grizzlies man trapped beneath the pair at half court. As he struggled with the Warriors players, Poole managed to poke the ball free before reaching for the ball, but instead caught the right knee of Morant. The incident looked innocuous enough, but Poole clearly pulled Morant's knee back at an awkward angle, which could have been the moment that injury was sustained. And Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins was under no illusions as to how the injury occurred, saying he was going after a dribble and Jordan Poole actually grabbed his knee and he yanked it, which kind of triggered whatever happened. Do you think Poole's actions were intentional? Will Morant make Game 5 then? Stay with us to find out. Following the injury sustained in Game 3, which also kept him out of Game 4, all-star point guard Ja Morant has again been ruled out of Game 5. This news comes as a huge blow for the Grizzlies, who are 3-1 down in the series. So they need their best players on the court for Wednesday's game, as this could be the series-defining game. If Golden State takes the win, they'd be up 4-1 in the series, and obviously there would be zero way back for Memphis, so the news that Morant will be unavailable comes as a serious loss. The Grizzlies are also going to be without Santi Aldama, thanks to another right knee problem, as well as Killian Tilly, who has a problem with his lower back. It remains to be seen whether or not Morant will be back in the game for Game 6, but that could be too late. It's been suggested that he probably won't be fit for Game 6, however. But fans and management can take heart from how the team has performed this year, having performed at a very high level all season. And the Warriors will be hoping that they can steal the series in the upcoming game, which is their first performance in the playoffs since 2019. The Warriors last won the championship in 2018, and they're going to be hoping for a repeat of that season once again. Who do you think is going to win, the Grizzlies or the Warriors? Let us know down below. So why did Draymond Green give fans the middle fingers? Green was, of course, ejected from Game 1 for his own foul on Brandon Clark, hitting him in the head and then dragging him to the ground. So it's safe to say that he's not on the Christmas card list of many Memphis Grizzlies fans. And in the second game, Green himself was on the receiving receiving end of a spot of physical play, shall we say, after he took a shot to the face whilst going after a loose ball. The Warriors' number 23 had to leave the court for treatment in the first quarter, to a chorus of boos thanks to his behavior in Game 1. And whilst trudging off to the locker room, he responded to these boos with a message of his own, by holding up middle fingers to the crowd. Charming. The man himself then addressed the incident by questioning the fans' behavior, saying, "You're gonna boo someone who just got elbowed in the eye, and their face was running with blood? You should get flipped off. It felt really good to flip them off." Well, yeah, Draymond, it's their prerogative who they boo, and after being in the game for a decade, you should probably know that a little better. And some fans on social media suggested that it was an instant karma for Green, after he was seen laughing in the aftermath of his foul on Game 1. What do you guys make of Draymond Green's antics? And finally, Klay Thompson has given his thoughts on the rest of the series, so stay tuned. Warriors shooting guard Klay Thompson has been speaking this week about Game 5 in the series, with the Grizzlies in particular, and the LA native has suggested that the 5th game is set to be the hardest one yet after their 101-98 success on Monday in Game 4. The Grizzlies decided to alter their tactics slightly. Being without Ja Morant, they decided to go with a slower tempo, which actually very nearly paid off. The Warriors didn't actually lead until 45 seconds left on the clock, so Memphis might feel slightly hard done by. And the Warriors know their way around these waters. Since 2013, the Golden State outfit have won 20 playoff series, so their experience could prove the difference when trying to edge out the Grizzlies come Wednesday night. But Thompson recognized how difficult that's gonna be, saying that the closeout is always the most difficult one, and they were made to go to the very end by an embattled Grizzlies team, who will be hoping that they can at least push the Cali side to Game 6. Thompson's comments also come as no surprise, as no one expects the Warriors to roll the Grizzlies on Wednesday, and this neutral is certainly gonna be backing the Memphis team just to make it interesting. As always, thanks for dropping in today, and remember to stop by again next time for more fun reveals. And don't forget to like and share today's video with any NBA fans you might have lurking on your socials. Later, guys.